Good morning, everybody. How are you? All right. We like riding bikes, right? Motorcycles. Absolutely. My name's Jason Hill, former newscaster for 23 years, DC, Detroit, NBC, CBS, PBS. I spent 4 years in France as well, doing international industrial films. Currently, I was the news anchor here at KView. Wanted to get out of the cold after being at NBC in Detroit. Landed here in Austin. Love Austin. When I left the news business, I now manage the public affairs department for Austin Water, one of the spokespersons for the city of Austin. I'm a motorcyclist. I'm a biker. I ride motorcycles. I've done that all my life, and I'm just proud and happy to be part of the motorcycling community here in the state of Texas. With that said, communications, marketing is what I do. And in Michael's presentation, he talked about where we get our information, and it's the internet. When I left television news, I had spent 23 years really under the auspices of a news organization that had the responsibility of amplifying what information I wanted to get out. When I left the news industry, I had technology to do the same thing. Things that I thought, opinions that I had, interests that I had, could now be amplified through the internet and various means through the internet. So why not use that for motorcycle awareness information, whether it's safety, legal, legislative? The U.S. Defenders Program is a program that I ran into here with the Confederation of Clubs and Independents, patched members here in the state of Texas, as well as independents. It's a grassroots organization that was birthed out of the need to have people organize when legislative issues came to the state legislature, and they needed the opinion of the actual motorcyclist. So with that, the mission of that program was to be boots on the ground. When there needed to be support, you organize these folks, you organize these motorcyclists, you inform them on what's going on, and then get their opinion, and then make sure their opinions get to the decision makers, the policy makers, so they can make informed decisions that affect the daily lives of riders on two wheels. This program is also nationwide, and it started right here in the state of Texas. But the biggest thing is here: need for communication. To work as a group, Testudo. We're all pretty intelligent. We all know what that is. We saw the movie 300, right? Yeah. Ready to eat raw beef after finishing that movie. Testudos, those ancient Greeks, worked together. Everyone put up their shield, and they were able to work as a unit. And as a motorcycling community, whether we ride Harleys, BMWs, or we're hipsters on little Triumphs, we're still part of that same community. And legislatively, safety awareness-wise, we have common denominators that affect us all no matter what our style is on two wheels. So I started to think about that, and traveling around and speaking at different forums for motorcyclists around the country. How can we visualize this to create something, a design that all sorts of riders from all sorts of lifestyles could grasp and understand? The Biker Communications Network. Dun, 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 dun. Information is out there. Everybody's doing it. We have NHTSA. We have the state, TxDOT. The information, the reports are there. But it's kind of spread all over the place. How do you get to Jack and Jill in their neighborhood, in their garage with their feet kicked up, and they've got the beer out, and they're just finished wiping the bikes down? They're not on the NHTSA website looking at the reports. With the Bikers Communication Network, it's a shield. It's made up from all the different types of organizations that represent motorcyclists around the state and around the country. 9 million registered motorcyclists in the U.S., 440,098, 492 here in the state of Texas this year. Fresh numbers from TxDOT. Texas patch members, about 2,500 to 3,500. They represent the center. Sons of Anarchy. People think that's cool. They're the center, kind of set the cool standards. But they're a very small portion of that. You have the National Coalition of Motorcyclists. And then you have all the independents and the MROs, the motorcycle rights organizations, AMA, ABATE, all those sorts of organizations. But they all find their area in the shield. They all exist in the shield. But what holds this together? Just like in life, watching the news. We all fit in that bigger shield in some way, shape, or form. But what is it that binds us together? It's information. It's information that we can use, we can assimilate in our everyday lives to increase our quality of life for whatever it is. And here it happens to be motorcycling, our lives on two wheels, and motorcycle safety in general. Over the past 3 years with this particular endeavor, motorcycle safety has been the topic that has drawn the most responses. Though people may seem very freewheeling on two wheels, they're very interested on staying safe. They may say and represent one thing, but at the end of the day, those folks, as well as their loved ones, want them to come home in one piece. Information is what ties it all together. These lines here really represent the biker communications network. It's a network designed to connect all of us through a variety of means that suit our lifestyles. It's to provide a resource that will keep us all united and in the know of what's going on, from motorcycle legislation to safety and awareness, whether you're on the go and live on your smartphone or you like to leisurely read updates from your computer, the BCN will keep you connected. A bigger area of it. We have call to actions for legislative issues. We have Facebook. We have website. We have email. We have podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Flickr, you name it. What's the content of these things? Regional news, safety and awareness, legal news, state news. That information is circulated. It comes from the different organizations, and it's circulated. It goes in, it comes out, it goes in, it comes out, and that's the BCN. Over the past 3 years, we've been able to spread it out through all these different mediums, and we're continuing to increase them. It's really been incredible how we operate. How many of you have smartphones? That's exactly right. Michael, his presentation, he said that through his surveys, most folks, most motorcyclists, get their information from the internet. And then he said that they're going to look further into where they get it from and how they get it. Well, we've created a resource. And the uniqueness of this resource is just like a news organization, just like a network or a local television station. You want to establish a relationship with people. You want to start a dialogue, and you want to gain their trust. You want to gain their trust in being able to provide them with clear, consistent, and concise information that they can utilize to improve the quality of their life. And in our case, we're talking about motorcycle safety. Information is collected, redistributed through website, Facebook, Twitter, call to actions, email. We have a daily newsletter. Some folks don't have Twitter, Facebook. We understand that. They may just have it, they have to be online. What we have found out over the years is that it's nice to see people face to face, but unfortunately, you're not going to get the numbers. In television news, I sat in the studio for years and I did newscast. I left the news station and I bumped into people that I didn't know. And they talked about the story of the day. And I'm sure there are other people that I didn't bump into that I don't know. My sphere of influence, our sphere of influence, only goes out so many people. But with a television station or radio station, you're able to influence people outside of your sphere of influence that you'll never meet or see. So how come we can't really utilize that same concept here? So in years past, it was let's gather everybody together and give them information. But that's only going to be a couple hundred people. And of course, they're going to take it here and they're going to take it there. But how do we get that bubble even farther? How do we influence people? How do we get that and disseminate the information out there to people that we will never, ever physically come in contact with? Bikers Communication Network, the internet. 25 to 30,000 folks, we call them freedom fighters. Through all of those different mediums, quantitatively, we have documented that's how many people we're reaching now. And that's important. Our legislators, and Jude Check-Schneider will talk about that later on in regards to legislative issues that are within our 84th legislature right now. And it's because those folks understand that we are connected to the people that they are making decisions about. And that's important. Communication is the key element. Motorcycle fatalities and crashes increasing, motorcycle funding decreasing, safety and awareness kind of bobbling, it's not increasing. It's important to understand that, again, the information is out there. How do we translate those figures and numbers? Currently at Austin Water, I deal with scientists and mathematicians and hydrologists and geologists, and they have all this data and so forth, but how do we relate that to folks out there? In the news industry, we write newscasts and stories to a 6th, 7th grade level because you want to reach the masses, not just a very, very educated level or, not just a kindergartner. You want to be able to reach everyone. You want to make it so everyone understands. So that's very important also. And then you want to have it in a place where people can access it and they can feel that they've got a connection that they trust. And that's important also. And that's what we found. 25 to 30,000 freedom fighters a week, or motorcyclists a week. We're pushing now to increase that to loved ones so they can keep up with information. And again, outside of legislation and legal information, the most popular information that has really driven the responses that we are getting now has been motorcycle safety and awareness. That pretty much gives you a summation of how social media, how the internet is vital to communicating to motorcyclists how important it is safety and awareness information, whether it's gear, whether it's how you ride, whether it's glamorizing a little bit instructional courses, advanced motorcycle riding courses, all those sorts of things. We have to connect with the riders out there. And the way to do that is through their smartphone, through the internet, through the weekly newsletter, and through these grassroots ways where people feel that they're getting this information and then they can continue to disseminate it.